In the world of warfare, there exists a shadow realm, a place beyond the headlines, beyond the reach of diplomacy and the vision of satellites. It's a world where operations have no names, where warriors have no ranks, and where failure is not an option, because failure doesn't make it back. In this hidden theater, three names reign supreme: Delta Force, SEAL Team 6, the British SAS. Three units forged in different corners of the world, born of necessity, refined in blood, and sculpted in the silence of absolute secrecy. They are the invisible hand of their nations, deployed not to fight wars, but to end them before they begin. And yet, among these elite, a question echoes like a whispered challenge in the dark. Who is the deadliest? To understand the answer, we must journey back, not just to the beginning of each force, but to the roots of modern special operations. The story begins in North Africa, 1941. The desert was vast and merciless, and conventional warfare was getting nowhere. A young British officer named David Stirling had a radical idea: strike not where the enemy is strong, but where they least expect it. With that vision, the Special Air Service, SAS, was born. A handful of men, operating behind enemy lines, blowing up airfields, cutting supply chains, vanishing into the sand. They weren't supposed to survive. But they didn't just survive. They redefined what a soldier could be. The SAS became the prototype, the model upon which generations of special operations units would be built. Their motto, etched in steel and earned in fire, was simple: "Who dares wins." Decades later, on the other side of the Atlantic, America faced a changing world. In the 1970s, terrorism was no longer confined to war zones. It had gone global. The U.S. military, powerful though it was, found itself unprepared for this new kind of warfare. In response, a man named Charlie Beckwith, an American officer who had trained with the SAS, proposed a radical idea: create a unit like no other. A team that operated in total secrecy, capable of precision strikes, hostage rescues, counterterrorism, and black ops. In 1977, his vision became reality. Officially named 1st Special Forces Operational Detachment Delta, the world would come to know them simply as Delta Force. But while Delta was sharpening its blade, another threat loomed. In 1980, the failed rescue mission of American hostages in Iran, Operation Eagle Claw, shocked the nation. Among the fallout, the U.S. Navy saw the need for its own elite counter-terror unit. Enter SEAL Team 6. Founded by the controversial and battle-hardened Richard Marcinko, SEAL Team 6 was a unit within a unit drawn from the Navy SEALs, but set apart by its extreme secrecy and unrestricted mission profile. Over time, its official name changed to DevGRU, Naval Special Warfare Development Group, but to the world, it would always be SEAL Team 6. Selection is not recruitment, it is a crucible. A furnace that burns away weakness and reveals only steel. For the SAS, it begins in the Brecon Beacons of Wales, a place of cold winds, steep hills, and unrelenting misery. Candidates carry heavy packs across vast terrain, with only a compass in their willpower. There are no encouraging words, no cheering instructors, only silence and the ticking clock. Most fail. Those who survive face the jungle phase, mastering survival and escape, and finally, the infamous resistance to interrogation training. Here they are broken, mentally and physically, and only those who refuse to break are deemed worthy. Delta Force's selection is equally merciless. Held in the Appalachian Mountains, its exact details remain classified, but former operators speak of long-range solo navigation, psychological evaluations, and the legendary Long Walk, a final endurance march where the distance, time limit, and terrain are unknown. It's not about who finishes fastest, it's about who never quits. The final few are admitted to the operator training course, where skills are honed to perfection. Shooting, explosives, language, intelligence, tradecraft, Delta turns warriors into shadows. SEAL Team 6 does not accept outsiders. Only active duty SEALs may apply, and even then they must be invited. Their past missions are reviewed, their personalities dissected. Those accepted enter Green Team, a program so demanding that failure is expected. It is not a school. It is a battlefield. Close quarters battle drills, live fire hostage rescue, night operations, stress inoculation, and maritime infiltration. Every movement is timed, every bullet tracked. Half of them will fail. The survivors earn no medals, only a place among legends. But even the best training means nothing without fire. And all three units have been tested in operations so daring they have become the stuff of myth. For SAS, that moment came in 1980 at the Iranian embassy in London. 6 armed terrorists had taken 26 hostages. As negotiations dragged on, Britain turned to the only unit it trusted with the impossible. On the 6th day, SAS operators in black masks and gas canisters stormed the embassy in a matter of minutes. The world watched, stunned, as the hostages were freed, the terrorists neutralized, and a legend was born live on television. Delta's baptism came in 1993 Mogadishu. Operation Gothic Serpent, intended as a swift capture of warlord lieutenants, descended into a 15-hour urban battle when 2 Black Hawk helicopters were shot down. Trapped in hostile territory, Delta operators and Army Rangers fought street by street. 2 Delta snipers, Gary Gordon and Randy Shugart, voluntarily inserted themselves to protect a downed pilot. They died in place, holding the line to their last breath. For their heroism, they received the Medal of Honor. Their sacrifice became the soul of Delta Force. SEAL Team 6, for all its secrecy, left its mark in a single night. May 2, 2011, Abbottabad, Pakistan. After years of intelligence gathering, the world's most wanted man, Osama bin Laden, was finally located. In the dead of night, 2 stealth helicopters carried SEAL Team 6 operators across the border. They landed in silence, breached the compound, cleared each floor, and then, with a controlled burst of gunfire, bin Laden was dead. Mission accomplished. No U.S. casualties, no doubts. The operation redefined modern warfare, and the SEALs vanished once more into shadow. But for every mission we know, there are dozens we never will. Hostage rescues in Somalia, high-value target raids in Iraq, covert surveillance in Syria, snatch and grabs in hostile capitals. These are not stories for public ears. These are secrets etched in memory, known only to those who carry them. What makes these forces so effective? The answer lies not just in the men, but in the tools and the tactics. Delta Force favors modularity and simplicity. Weapons like the HK-416, SIG Sauer, and Glock pistols are tailored with custom optics, suppressors, and attachments. Their gear's light, silent, and brutally effective. Every operator is a marksman. Every shot has a purpose. Their tactics emphasize surgical precision. Clear the room, eliminate the threat, extract the asset. No hesitation, no wasted motion. SEAL Team 6, with its maritime origins, brings additional versatility. They excel at ship takedowns, underwater insertions, and amphibious assaults. They carry the same cutting-edge weaponry, but with specialized diving gear, night vision, and submersibles. They've mastered stealth, from halo jumps to underwater demolitions, and their CQB training is second to none. SAS, meanwhile, balances tradition with innovation. Known for using the MP5 in its heyday, modern SAS units now wield rifles like the C8 and L119A2. Their greatest weapon, however, is adaptability. In civilian clothes behind enemy lines using local vehicles, they disappear in plain sight. Their approach is methodical, calculated, and devastatingly effective. And their psychological warfare, confusing, intimidating, and demoralizing the enemy, is legendary. All 3 units operate with the mantra speed, surprise, violence of action. They strike when least expected. They move faster than thought. And when they hit, the fight is over before it begins. Perhaps their greatest power is secrecy. SAS missions are rarely confirmed. Their operators go unnamed. Their successes are whispered in military circles. Delta Force? Even more so. The U.S. government doesn't officially acknowledge the unit. Its operators don't appear in award ceremonies. Even their families often don't know the truth. SEAL Team 6, due to the high-profile nature of some missions, is more known, but still operates behind layers of classification. Internally known as DevGru, its structure, budget, and missions remain shrouded. Most operations never reach the news, and that's by design. Their global reach is staggering. From the jungles of Colombia to the mountains of Afghanistan, from urban centers in Europe to remote islands in the Pacific, if there is a threat, they are there. Or they will be. They are not armies. They are scalpels, and they are wielded only when there is no other choice. So we return to the question. Delta Force, SEAL Team 6 SAS. Who is the deadliest? SAS brings legacy, experience, and a foundation that shaped the others. Delta Force brings unmatched precision, resources, and flexibility. An army of ghosts with unlimited reach. SEAL Team 6 brings specialized expertise, amphibious capabilities, and a track record of killing the most wanted men on Earth. The truth is, there is no clear winner. Because this isn't a battle of egos. It's a symphony of silent warriors, each playing their role in a dangerous world, but perhaps the real answer is this. The deadliest one is the one you never see coming. They are not here for glory. They do not seek fame. They exist in the places we will never go, fighting wars we will never hear about, so that we may live in a world without knowing just how close danger truly came. In the end, maybe the question is not which is the deadliest, but rather, when they come. Will you even know?